Presence of God is the greatest evidence that we have of His favor. There are moments in every believer's life when we silently ask, Lord, where are you? Sometimes those moments come after years of unanswered prayers. Sometimes they come through illness, financial hardship, loneliness, betrayal, or grief. We begin to compare our lives with others. We see people who seem healthy, prosperous, and successful, and we wonder if God's favor them before us, if He has fans, right? Now, many have even been taught that God's favor is measured by visible blessings. If your business grows, you are favored. If you are healed, then you are favored. If every door opens for you, of course you are favored. You are favored when everything happens within your plans. But if you struggle, perhaps your faith is weak, they say. Or God is displeased with you. Sometimes we hear that. The question is this: does the Bible ever define God's favor with the way that we are in our state? Today, I believe the scripture gives us a very different answer. Israel's greatest crisis is the setting in Exodus 32 verses 33. Israel had witnessed miracles unlike any nation before them. They had seen the Red Sea open. They had eaten the manna in the desert. From heavy struggles and hunger pains, they saw God presenting Himself from the heavens. They had heard God's voice from the Mount of Sinai. Yet while Moses was on the mountain, the people built the golden calf. Their greatest problem was not merely that they were breaking a commandment. They broke covenant with God, who had redeemed them. Then God said something astonishing to Moses. Go up to a land flowing with milk and honey, but I will go up amongst you. Exodus 33 verses 3. Pause and let that sink in for us for a moment. God was still willing to give them the Holy Land. They could still receive the vineyards they had not planted, houses they had not built, fields that they had not cultivated. The promise could still be theirs, but His presence, that is the most important thing. His presence would not accompany them. Go read it a little bit. Imagine hearing that today. I will give you financial security. I will give you a perfect health. I will give you success. But you will not enjoy my fellowship anymore. Would we notice what is missing in today's life? Moses did. Moses understood the greatest treasure of it all. Moses answered with one of the most remarkable prayers ever recorded. If your presence does not go with us, do not bring us up from here. Exodus 33 verses 15. Moses would rather remain in the wilderness with God than inherit the land of Canaan without Him. That prayer reveals Moses' heart. He had learned that God's greatest gift was never the promised land. God Himself was the promise. The land was only valuable because God would dwell amongst His people. Without Him, even Canaan would become empty. What is favor then? The Hebrew word translated for favor is chen. It means grace, favor, acceptance, loving kindness, and undeserved goodwill. Well, but notice what Moses asked after speaking about favor. He says, if I have found favor in your sight, show me your way, that I may know you. Exodus 33 verses 13. He does not ask greater wealth. He does not ask for a larger army. He does not ask for a longer life. He asks to know God. Because genuine favor always draws us closer to God's heart. Then Moses says something profound. How shall it be known that I have found favor in your sight? Is it not in your going with us then? Exodus 33 verses 16. There is the answer. How do we know we have God's favor? Because He goes with us. Not because every circumstance is easy, but because His presence remains. His face remains. To be in the face of God. This is why the Hebrew word panim means face and presence. Both. To be in the presence of God is to be face to God. To see God's face is to seek His presence. Now one day we will be face to face physically with God. This is why the priestly blessing that reaches its highest point when it's prayed, not with material blessings, but with these words. The Lord make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The greatest blessing is not merely receiving the gifts of God, it is living before His face. Jesus changes everything. This theme reaches its fulfillment in Jesus when Matthew tells us His name is Emmanuel. It means God with us. Notice what God gave the world. Not first a kingdom, not first peace on earth, not first prosperity. He gave His Son. God's answer to humanity is the deepest thing, and that is the presence dwelling amongst us. That's the answer. Then Jesus made another promise before returning to the Father. He said, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. He did not promise believers they would never suffer. He promised they would never suffer alone.